Right now, Elon Musk stands unrivaled as the wealthiest person on the planet. With a staggering fortune of approximately $300 billion, thanks to his groundbreaking ventures like Tesla, SpaceX, and the Boring Company, his success is the stuff of legends. However, Musk's billions, jaw-dropping as they are, pale in comparison to the fortunes of history's richest individuals. That's right. Tech titans like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Bernard Arnault, and Bill Gates don't even come close to making the ultimate wealth leaderboard. Of course, diving into the past to measure wealth isn't an exact science. Back then, riches weren't just about money. They were measured in gold, land, salt, and raw power. The valuations are fiercely debated among scholars, but we've sifted through historical records, expert analyses, and compelling sources to bring you a list of the richest people ever to walk the earth. Curious to see who truly ruled the wealth game? Let's find out. King Solomon, the biblical king of Israel, wasn't just rich. He was astronomically rich. He could buy Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos lunch, with enough left over to fund a space colony. His legendary fortune came from a trifecta of smart moves, hefty tributes from neighboring nations, shrewd trade alliances, and control over key trade routes bustling with gold, spices, and luxury goods. And then there was his wisdom, a magnet for VIPs like the Queen of Sheba, who didn't just come for deep conversations but also showed up with treasure troves of gifts. Talk about networking goals. Solomon funneled all this wealth into monumental projects, including the First Temple in Jerusalem, an architectural masterpiece that would have made even today's billionaires jealous. Now, here's the jaw-dropper. Adjusted for modern times, Solomon's wealth is estimated to be a mind-boggling $2 to $2.5 trillion. Yes, trillion, with a T. That's enough to buy Twitter 100 times over, or fund your coffee habit for eternity. The sheer scale of his wealth cements him as one of the richest figures in human history, leaving us mere mortals clutching our piggy banks in awe. The founder of the Roman Empire, Augustus Caesar, needs no introduction as one of history's most powerful and influential rulers. But let's take a moment to truly grasp just how staggeringly wealthy he was. Picture this. Augustus amassed his fortune through a trifecta of inheritance, conquests, and his iron grip on the sprawling Roman Empire. He got his start by inheriting the vast wealth of his great-uncle, Julius Caesar. Then, with all the subtlety of a thunderbolt, he confiscated the fortunes of political opponents during the proscriptions and plundered treasure from conquered lands like a one-man economic vacuum cleaner. As emperor, Augustus didn't just oversee Rome's economy. He practically was Rome's economy. He controlled the empire's taxation system, provincial revenues, and even integrated his personal estates with state resources. And here's where it gets jaw-dropping. The Roman Empire under his reign produced 25 to 30% of the entire world's economic output. Of that, a solid fifth was Augustus's personal cut. Translated to today's dollars, his fortune would be an unfathomable $4.6 trillion. To put that in perspective, Apple, the most valuable company in the world, clocks in at a mere $3 trillion. That means Augustus could have casually bought Apple, with enough left over to throw in Amazon, and still have a fortune that could make Jeff Bezos raise an eyebrow. Honestly, it's almost unfair. One man wielding a fortune so massive, it makes modern billionaires look like kids counting pennies in a sandbox. Brace yourself, this is stupefying. The sixth emperor of China's Song dynasty, Emperor ShenZong, ruled from 1067 to 1085 over an empire so economically powerful it was worth a staggering 25 to 30% of the entire world's GDP at the time. Yep, you heard that right. This guy practically had the ancient equivalent of an unlimited money cheat code activated. According to Money.com, ShenZong's empire was a treasure trove, thanks to groundbreaking economic reforms led by his chief minister, Wang Anshi. These reforms, known as the New Policies, were like the ancient version of an economic masterclass. They centralized financial control, ramped up agricultural productivity, and stabilized tax revenues. And, get this, they even handed out state-backed loans to farmers. Imagine your government sliding into your DMs offering financial help instead of taxes. On top of that, government monopolies on key goods brought in some serious coin. Oh, and let's not forget trade. Silk Road swag and bustling maritime routes had the cash registers ringing across the empire. Now, here's where it gets wild. While there's no exact figure for ShenZong's personal wealth, the dynasty's GDP at its peak was estimated at a spectacular 26.5 billion silver taels, and adjusted for today's economic scale, that's potentially trillions of dollars. Yep, you could probably fund a couple of space programs and still have enough left over for a planet-sized shopping spree. Moral of the story: if you thought billionaires today were loaded, Emperor ShenZong just raised the bar and then vaulted over it with style. Genas Khan, the legendary founder of the Mongol Empire, amassed his staggering wealth not through gold or silver, but through unyielding military campaigns and the unification of countless nomadic tribes across Central Asia. His achievements are jaw-dropping. He didn't just create an empire, he forged the largest contiguous empire in human history, a feat that remains unmatched to this day. Imagine a modern corporation like Amazon or Apple sprawling across countries. Genas Khan's enterprise was far greater, controlling vast territories, resources, and trade routes, including the Silk Road. This enabled an unparalleled flow of goods, tribute, and taxes, building wealth so vast it defies conventional measurement. His power extended beyond his lifetime in extraordinary ways. According to a 2003 genetic study, as many as 16 million men today, roughly 1 in 200 worldwide, carry his DNA. This is a level of legacy that's almost impossible to fathom. To put his wealth into modern terms, experts estimate that his empire's value would be equivalent to a mind-boggling $120 trillion today. For comparison, that's more than the combined GDPs of the world's 10 richest nations. Genas Khan wasn't just a ruler. He was a force of nature whose dominance left a legacy so vast and shocking, it continues to shape history and genetics alike. Coming in hot at number 1 is a name that might leave you scratching your head or rubbing your eyes in disbelief: Mansa Musa, the ruler of the Mali Empire. If you think modern billionaires are rolling in dough, think again. This guy was playing an entirely different game. While today's richest might splurge on mega yachts or space rockets, Mansa Musa's wealth was so astronomical it could have made Jeff Bezos look like a casual coupon clipper. Mansa Musa ruled over an empire bursting with riches, vast lands, abundant salt, and gold reserves that would make even a dragon jealous. His fortune wasn't just about luck, though. He built it strategically by controlling the lucrative gold and salt trade routes of West Africa. And we're not talking small-time trade here. The Mali Empire was the largest gold producer in the world at its peak. Imagine having so much gold that you become the human embodiment of a treasure chest. To top it off, Musa wasn't content with just sitting on his wealth. He expanded his empire to include bustling trading hubs like Timbuktu and Gao, raking in even more wealth through trade and taxation. But here's where things get downright stunning. On his pilgrimage to Mecca, he reportedly brought a 60,000-strong entourage, including royal officials, camel drivers, and, you guessed it, slaves. Oh, and just for kicks, he destabilized the entire economy of Cairo by spending so much gold during his 3-month visit that the price of the precious metal took a decade to recover. Imagine pulling up to a city and dropping so much cash that economists are still side-eyeing your receipts 10 years later. Historians can't even agree on how wealthy Mansa Musa truly was. While some estimates peg his fortune at a mere $400 billion, many believe his wealth was literally incomprehensible. Let that sink in. We're talking about a level of richness so absurd that it's like trying to measure the ocean with a teaspoon. Elon Musk, eat your heart out. All right, that wraps up our look at the richest people in history. Remarkable figures who changed the world with their wealth and vision. Whether through innovation, strategic investments, or sheer ambition, their legacies still influence us today. If you enjoyed learning about these incredible fortunes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into fascinating topics. And, as always, let me know in the comments who you think could top this list in the future. Until next time, keep striving for greatness, and remember, wealth isn't just about money. It's about the impact you leave behind.